How big was that win? Like in terms of confidence, getting that one out of the way?
Yeah, it was a big win for us moving forward. I think we all know how tough a game it was going to be, and it lived up to that. And we all believe that we could get the job done. And having the week off definitely helps. Allows your body to recover and freshen up a bit, and then you can move forward to the prelim. So it was definitely a massive win for us.
Just in terms of body recover, having the time off, or the momentum continuing, what's your thoughts on that?
I think the week off can only help, to be honest. Mentally and physically, you can freshen up a bit, relax. I know personally, I was pretty spent after that game. It was hot up there in Townsville, and went down on the wire. So to have the extra week off definitely helps, and you can sort of sit back and watch the other teams go at it. So yeah.
Is it an individual thing of what you do moving forward, watching the games, or as a team you're watching? Because some footballers don't watch other games.
Yeah, I think I don't think there'll be any emphasis to go and watch the games, or there'll be no pressure to watch the games. If you want to watch the games, then that's on you. But I know personally, I even as a spectator, I like to watch the game still. I don't watch every game, but the big games I like to watch, and they're pretty entertaining. And also you like to see what you're coming up against. So yeah.
One of the most special wins you've ever been a part of? Yeah,
I would say so. We've gone pretty deep into the season every year. I've been at South, and that one was a pretty tough and hard fought win, but it was definitely up there, yeah, for sure.
And some of the other boys spoke about the magic of Wayne. What is he? Can you put into words just how he's able to get the best out of his players?
Yeah, I can try. I think he just gives you that self-belief that everyone talks about, and he simplifies it a lot. Doesn't complicate it in your head. He knows it down to the very basics of rugby league, and then you can just build your game off that throughout the game. And all he wants you to do is go out there and rip in and give it your best. So as long as you're doing that for him, then he's happy, and everyone in the squad wants to do that for him. So yeah.
Good for Zoom. Thank you.
Hey, Campbell, just Scott Bailey from AAP. Just interested in your last couple of months, mate. Obviously, you had the concussion. Was there a point there where you were concerned about whether you'd make it back in time for finals?
No, I was pretty confident that I would, be ready to go for the finals. It was just more of a race to get a couple of games under my belt before the finals started, just to build that match fitness up. And I was pretty keen to get back and get at least 2 or 3 games under my belt, and I was able to do that. The club didn't rush me at all, and I was able to take my time, and it was a pretty frustrating process, to be honest, but I was pretty patient with it, and I'm looking back on it now, I'm pretty glad that I was on the side of caution, and when I was ready to go, I was ready to go. So at the time it was very frustrating, but to be able to get a few games under my belt, I think definitely helps.
Was it a tougher period to just not being back home? Like, did that make that period any trickier? I don't know. Have you got family up there? I'm not sure what your situation is, to be honest.
No. All my family's in Sydney. I got a sister in Brisbane, but it was, I guess, being in a sort of bubble environment, but not being able to do any training or being a part of any of the games. It probably did make it a little bit more frustrating and sort of harder to get away from, but all the boys and the staff were very supportive through that time. And like I said, they reassured me there was no rush, and, to keep my, health and safety first. So I was able to do that with no pressure on me, which was, definitely made the situation better.
Did it just linger, or was it a case of after the first week or two, you knew what or you were able to hope what your return date would be? And it was that game, I think it was against Penrith you came back, right?
Yeah, no, it was, as I said, it was quite frustrating. I would sort of take one step back and one step forward and 2 back. I would try train, and then I'd get 2-3 sessions in, and then my symptoms would progressively get worse. And it wasn't until I had about 2 weeks completely of doing nothing at all that I was able to sort of get back into training and get through all the protocols, and then I was fit and ready to go. So yeah.
Last one for me, I don't want to hog everyone's time, but how long did it take once you're back on the field to actually feel back to full fitness? Because I guess part of the challenge is, right, like you had the 2 weeks where you did next to nothing. So I guess that probably takes you back a little bit conditioning wise, or?
Yeah, it does. You know, had some pretty intense training sessions before I had my first game back, but then, you know, it does take a while to actually get that match fitness back. There's not much that compares to it on the training paddock, but you know, once you sort of do get that match fitness back, it probably only takes 1 or 2 games. So I'm feeling good and ready to go now.
Thanks.
Hey, Campbell, it's Matt from Water Sports here. First of all, congrats on the win. I just want to sort of get some insight from you in regards to how much of the sort of the process of pre-game preparation went into that defensive effort that you guys had on that right edge. I mean, we know that Jerome Luai, Bill Kickow, and those guys on that left side for Penrith love going and shifting early. But I mean, apart from that one moment where you put Brian Toto over the sideline, they didn't really have that many opportunities to do what they wanted to do there. So I'm just sort of curious as to how much of a focus that was for you leading up to the game, and how sort of happy you are with the effort that you guys put in there.
Yeah, obviously it was a good result for us as a whole team to only, you know, concede 1 try, and that was off a kick, which, you know, it was a kind of hard kick to defend. But I thought as a whole team, our defensive process was on for the whole game, and just the effort areas, I think, is what the coaching staff are, you know, most pleased with. Blokes turning up, you know, going above and beyond, you know, what they're asked to do, and just being in the frame. And you know, you don't know whether you might be there to make the tackle or not, but as long as you're putting yourself in the frame, then and you're working hard for each other, then, you know, you can pretty much cover all the threats, and or at least try. And I thought as a right edge, you know, we've been building week to week. You know, I'm very confident in the players around me on the right edge with Rano, Sewer and Jackson. You know, we have a good system there, and we trust it and we believe in it. And, you know, I think that showed on the weekend, but I think it's only going to get tougher from now. And we're just going to have to keep building off the weekend, and yeah, keep locking it down. So, yeah.
G'day, Campbell. Chats from Rabbitohs Radio, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Look, everyone speaks about improvement, and that was obviously our best defensive effort of the season, mate. How much more improvement have you got going forward to that next prelim?
Yeah, I think we will have to improve. I know that you know, it was obviously a very pleasing defensive performance on the weekend, but, you know, that doesn't mean we can slack off in the prelim at all. So I know it's going to be even tougher from this point, and you know, defense is what wins your premierships. So we're just going to have to keep building on that, like I said, and you know, defense will be our main focus going forward.
I bet your Wayne was pretty happy with the job you and Jackson did on probably the most damaging ball runner in the game, Brian Toto. You really physically overpowered him a couple of times there, Campbell.
Yeah, you know, everyone knows how, you know, important he is to the Panthers' success, and he's obviously a very quality player. He's you know, he's a handful to tackle. You know, I pulled up very sore after that game, still very sore. So he's a rock. Yeah, he's a little rock, but and he goes all day. So I suppose I took it upon, you know, I suppose we all took it upon ourselves to try and nullify him as much as possible. And you know, he's got high involvement, so we had to be on the whole game. So you know, I thought we did a pretty good job on him. But in saying that, you know, we can't really just sit back and you know, pat ourselves on the back just yet. We got some big weeks ahead of us. So, yeah.
And you should have a few days off this week, mate. What are you looking forward to doing away from footy, mate? Get your mind off it.
Just relaxing on the beach, I think, just chilling out. You know, being on the Goldie is a good spot. So we trained pretty hard today, and we'll have a feed tonight together and then chill out. So it's good to just relax a bit, wind down, and then get some good sessions in the back end of this week. So, yeah.
Thanks, Campbell.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.